coaches. This video is going to demonstrate how you can use a system to manage your starters and your playing time. So here's my starters document. You'll see at the top of the list is a team roster. And what I did for the first game is I just took the first group of players that needed to start, and then I wrote them down here. Now at the end of that list, there's 3 players that didn't start the first game, so then what I do is I would start them the next game, and then I would go back up to the top of the list and carry on. So here I have the sheet that I use to keep track of the playing time during the game. So I just copied over here who the starters are, and now I've placed those starters here into a formation. So here's the first half. We have Jack in goal, 3 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 2 forwards. Over here I put who my substitutions are. So I have these 3 players that are sitting out at the start of the game. After about 5 to 7 minutes, or whenever it's time to sub, then I'll sort out who needs to go in for who. So let's say Steven is going to go in for Jarrett. I'll cross Jarrett out, so that way I know where he's going. And sometimes I put the position that they're subbing in for, so that way I know Steven is in the game for Jarrett at right forward. Let's have Wesley go in for Ian at right mid. We'll cross off Ian, and then Will go in for Cole at right defense. And then I'll put a little line there so that way I know, that was the end of the subbing. So now at this point, I have Jarrett, Ian, and Cole out on the bench. So some of the things I try to do here is when I sub players in, especially at the 11U level, I try to change where they're playing on the field. So Cole was playing right defense. The next time we put him in, maybe we'll put Cole in for Max at left midfield, so that way he gets a different position. Ian was playing midfield, so we'll put Ian in for Kyle at left defense. And then Jarrett, we'll put Jarrett in for Michael at left forward. We'll take that out. So that leaves us, here we have 2 players that you can see that are not crossed off yet, that haven't been taken out of the game yet. So then now I would have these 3 subs, Michael, Kyle, and Max. So then maybe I would put Michael in for Camden, cross him off at center defense, Kyle in for Carson at center mid, cross him off. Now we get down to Max. Max, every single person has been out. So then what I would do is I would go back to the top of the list. These are the first 3 players that went in. So then when I put Max in, I would put him in for one of these positions. Max was playing a left mid before. So I see here's a right defense spot. So I'd probably put Max for Will at right defense. When I do this and I'm doing my subbing, I always try to have a strong spine of the team. I try to have a very technical and talented player at center defense, at center mid, definitely at goalkeeper, to try to manage the game a little bit and to help the players out around them. So when I sub, I try to sub strong players in for strong players, so that way we continue to have this strong spine of the game. Once we get to halftime, I'd write down a few halftime points here at the bottom of the sheet. So as the half is going on, I can write down stuff that happens that I want to talk about at halftime so I don't forget. I can keep track of the score using that little section there. And then when it is time for the second half, then I would write down what the lineup is for the second half. I normally section off my subs for the first half, and then I carry on with the subs for the second half. So that's the system I use to manage playing time and to keep track of who's been playing where. Different people are going to have different things that work for them. I would definitely, though, recommend having something so that way you can keep track of the playing time, to make sure that you as a coach are following the developmental philosophy, getting players playing into different positions and having different experiences. And the second point would be if a parent or anyone wants to see, hey, where has my kid been playing? Why hasn't my player been starting? You would have some data to back up how things have been going as well. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. Thanks.